Okay, so I'm trying out a slightly different camera placement. I'm still trying to get a good downward picture for mostly hands. The other one showed more of me than I would have liked. But it's not like I ever pretended to be anything but what I am. So, I was talking about, it's been a few days since the last video, and I do have to keep it under 10 minutes. And I don't have anything with a camera on it or a timer on it open. So if this just shuts off abruptly, that's how my videos will end now. I was talking about this paper bag project I have for embellishments for junk journals that can be used by just putting it on a page and gluing it down and using it as the bag as a tuck spot, and then it's got the little thing on the front where I'm adding some sort of paper. In some cases it's a plain paper like a graph paper or something that some junk mail that I've tea dyed or coffee dyed. Sometimes it's this type of scrapbooking paper, more decorative type thing. Sometimes it's colored book paper, or a combination thereof. This one is it's a manual for some piece of electronics that we no longer own. And then I'm putting on a little pocket made out of graph paper, and it has the fun edging. And I'm doing a front and a back because I intend in my journal to use these as in tuck spots or maybe as tip-ins or something like that. But certainly if you were just going to glue this down, you would only need to decorate the front part of it. And the little pocket will hold, a little tiny tag or maybe a key or some other fun type of embellishment that you want to put in there. And I do have a finished one that shows the tag. It's this size here. This one is finished. It's got a little washi tape. Inside here is some freebies for a kit that I'm going to be selling that I'll probably do a video on right before I list it, maybe to get a little more exposure. But you see I folded it over and I taped it a little bit. The washi tape will come right off. The bag is usable in a journal or some other project. But I made these little tags with my Big Shot die cutter. This one is just a tea tag from the teas I've been using. But little tags, and I back them on some cardstock because they're just out of that paperweight paper, this type of weight. They're not very sturdy. And I see people putting those straight in the journals, but I like something with a little, thickness to it. It just feels more stable to me. So for these small ones, it's a little bitty. This is just a teeny tiny tag. They're fun little embellishments. And then I'm doing a larger size too. Now this is it's a slightly bigger bag, so you get a bigger decorated. You can include some slightly larger tags. I like this rose paper. I'm not really a flowers person, but some patterns just speak to me. And then I've made two out of some music paper, so they can be journaled on. They can be used as gift tags. You can add little pictures, or you can collage on them. There's just a lot of stuff you can do with that. And inside this, this one is gears, metal gears, and this one is some keys like, let's see, I know I just had my hands on some. Oh, here we go. So they're like this size and smaller. They're just some little fun things that you can add to your journals for embellishments. You can put maybe some eyelash trim or some sari ribbon on there, and like I was showing on this one pocket, you could tuck something like that in there as a fun little embellishment with a little tag, or you could glue it onto the front of a journal, or you could use it as a charm on the back if you wanted to. I've got stuff just scattered everywhere because I'm working on about 3 things at once. Oh, here we go. This is where I put it. Still haven't glued down that other flap since I made the video the other day, but I have a hole in the top here where I'm going to hang a charm, so I could put that on a ribbon and put it through there and hang it with some other doodads. with some, yeah. So, and hang it with some other doodads, you know, for a fun little added embellishment on the spine. So for the kit that I'm selling, it's some regular papers, and then, you know, if you do this for any length of time, any kind of collaging, paperworking, mixed media stuff, you just wind up with lots of scraps of paper. So the kits are for scraps of paper and then some full-size sheets that are folded down to kind of de-stash, because I don't know about other, you know, art crafters who do this sort of thing, but sometimes it's fun to get other people's scraps, because what's old hat to them and they're like, ugh, I'm so tired of trying to fit this into something, might be really enjoyable for somebody else to get, you know, just a pack of fun things that they've never done, even if they're tiny pieces, because they can always be used as embellishments if you do any mosaic work and that kind of stuff. And this one is made out of just a paper bag, and it's I can undo this. I'm probably going to regret doing this. I may never get it back the way it was. But this is made out of a paper bag, and I line the inside with a book page, and there are some little buttons in there for the kit too. So you have 3 little freebie things that will go in the kit that aren't even listed as part of the auction or Etsy text. But those are they're just fun, and then they can be used in someone's junk journaling, or, you know, regifted in Happy Mail, or taken apart and used as other things. Can be used as tip-ins, as in tuck spots, can be glued down to pages. They're just fun little things that I have enjoyed working on. So I'm working on a set of the small bags where I might offer those up for sale on Etsy, or just use them in the junk journals that I'm creating. And then I have, so I'm making these 2 sizes. Right now I have all the papers cut out for the backgrounds and all the papers cut out for the envelopes. For the small set, I have them all edged as well. They just need to be glued down. For the large set, I still need to edge all the papers with the inking, because it really does make a difference, and I've forgotten on a number of things, and once you realize you've forgotten it, I notice the difference, and I'm like, oh, it's not finished looking enough. It just adds a little bit of polish, a little depth, a little more visual interest when you have the edging on it, and it makes it pop a little bit, so I just really enjoy that. Some of them are flat edges. Here I've cut this one with some of those edging scissors. Some of them have just been torn. You know, here I just tore the paper and then edged it with some ink. Some of them have, you know, I got the corner rounders in the middle of this, and I just started rounding corners left and right because it was fun. And then I will probably also make another set of these, because this was fun too. And I used the side of a grocery bag that I had cut off, because I used the pages in another project. You know, I used the wider part of the bag as pages in another project. But I got 4 of them out of the side of the bag that I had, and it was kind of short. So on a larger bag, I might get 8 or 6. But it's upcycling, recycling, stuff that comes into the house that might otherwise just go into the recycling or the trash. And I've had a lot of fun with it. You know, obviously there's more. I could put another decorative paper under here, but I just kind of liked it plain. I could add in an image on here, or whoever gets it could add an image on here. I've left them kind of what's called naked. I've heard it in several YouTube videos where it's not fully embellished. Somebody else could take this and maybe change the edging color, or add in additional embellishing elements. You could even use the buttons. You could glue them or sew them onto here. So a lot of this I'm leaving quote unquote naked, not fully embellished, so that when the person gets it, they can adapt it to their own purposes. I like crafting, but I'm not particularly, I don't like all the fussy little, some people really love all that fussy, the lace and the